Riley has been a part of Legacy Christian Academy since pre-K4. As an expressive writer, she co-founded our creative writing club and The Well, a student-produced newsletter dedicated to deepening student faith and fostering community. Her passion for the arts is evident as she received the Distinguished Fine Arts Medallion for Excellence throughout all 4 years of high school. Beyond her creative talents, Riley possesses a remarkable intellect. During her time at Legacy, she's earned academic awards in biology, algebra, English, and made the head of school's honors list. She's also a member of the National Honor Society. Riley's dedication to service is evident through her participation as a founding member of our Bridge Builders organization and her role as a lead Legacy spiritual formation team member. She's actively served on our worship team throughout high school and has been recognized by her peers with Christian Leadership, Christian Character, and Servant Hearts Award. Riley graduates with summa cum laude honors from the Professional Schools of Arts and Humanities and will be attending Princeton University in the fall. Please join me in congratulating the Salutatorian for the class of 2024, Miss Riley Heaton.
The class of 2024 is often characterized by our unique camaraderie. But while our closeness is deeply felt, it has not always been deeply appreciated. For many, it wasn't until the COVID lockdowns of our 8th grade year that we began to treasure the bonds we had formed. The temporary isolation actually taught us to value the community we had. Such moments of growth and maturation have been ever culminating throughout our years together, and now I'd like to share a few things we learned. One major lesson occurred early on when we learned the critical knowledge that stomach viruses are contagious. Our 6th grade field trip will forever be remembered by the vomit that seemed to come from everyone and cover everything. In middle school, we also learned that there's a time and place to be competitive, as both recess football and even silent ball were both banned for how intensely we played. And this year, we learned about the chemical properties of popcorn, namely that it is flammable in lunchroom microwaves. This also taught us the efficiency of the Frisco Fire Department. We even learned new phrases, as Mr. Algren taught us to research the meaning of puerile immaturity. Respectfully, of course. We learned that it is never too late for a fresh start, as our football team went from 0-4, last place in the district, to 4-0 district champs in just a year. We learned to think biblically about our education, understanding that math and science are the underpinnings by which God created the universe, that history and languages are a testament to a culture's experience with or without God, and that literature and the arts are man's best attempts to relay that story. We learned on our senior trip to Camp Soto that you don't even need to be from the same friend group to have an awesome time playing 9 Square together. And we've also learned that it's not all about us. There are 2 ways to look at how we have successfully finished this leg of our race. And the first version of the story says that we bravely and independently fought to carry ourselves over the finish line, having jumped countless hurdles on the way. In reality, we were pushed to the finish line by an army of faithful supporters. We were guided, encouraged, redirected, sometimes even shoved towards our goal, and we wouldn't have reached it any other way. So thank you, teachers and coaches, for choosing to spend your time with confused teenagers. You've been our mentors, our role models, and not a single one of us would be where we are without your influence in our lives. Thank you, administration and staff, for your constant willingness to help and for providing us with such an amazing place to learn all these lessons. I'd especially like to thank Maricela, part of our amazing janitorial staff, who is one of the friendliest, most servant-hearted people I've ever known. And finally, thank you parents, grandparents, and families for your guidance and support and your sacrifices that allowed us to come to this place and this school in the first place. We are blessed to have you all, and we are thankful. Now, there's one more lesson that I'd like to share with you all, one that's a little more personal. So in January, I had the opportunity to attend a nationwide Christian worship conference with a few other Legacy seniors and Mr. Branch. On the first day, I felt my faith refreshed, But on the second day, something odd happened. A hopelessness came over me where I felt alone and completely distanced from God. Everything went numb, and I experienced an overwhelming sense of shame and guilt. Then suddenly the dam broke, and I felt God's presence flood over me with all the freshness and shock of a first meeting. Nothing had ever felt so right or so undeserved, and I was filled with a joy and gratitude I had never come close to experiencing before. I found myself laughing and crying over how good God is, and I slowly realized the magnitude of what He had just done for me. God had allowed me to glimpse life without Him, and it was miserable. Out of everything I've learned in school, this simple lesson had the most profound impact on my life. God is enough. Many of us, including myself, have half-heartedly believed this for years, but now I know and finally understand how true and life-changing it really is. It's clear to me how hollow worldly achievements are in comparison to communion with our God. 4 years of near-perfect report cards and earning the position of Salutatorian cannot come close to comparing to the feeling of loving and being loved by God. Getting into Princeton, my dream school, still left me feeling grateful but somehow unfulfilled in light of the one thing that can truly satisfy. Even having a supportive, loving family and amazing relationships still cannot fill the gaping hole that is lodged within each one of us. And they were never supposed to. Only God can fill it. So now high school is over, and the rest of our lives starts as soon as this ceremony ends. We've learned so much over our years together, and I hope that for those who have not yet done it, we add a full and complete trust in God to our list of lessons. I could not be more proud to be graduating with you all today, and whatever happens, may we always remember that God is enough. Thank you.